Original Reacts, and this is Total War Warhammer 3 Astragoth Ironhand gameplay showcase by channel Total War. I guess this is part of the recent Chaos Dwarves Forge thing, which, first of all, seriously, the sound effects is just ridiculous, especially that last epic creature dragon thing, whatever that was, right? Which is infused, like some chaos demons and things are infused into it, whatever. But the sound was just so epic. See, that's the thing, sound is really important. Lots of things people, first of all, people loved Just Cause 3, but this is not really but yeah, in this way it's kind of comparable. Just Cause 3, people don't realize it much, but it has a great sound effect when it comes to explosions. People like that. If you did anything else, it wouldn't be so great. So sound effect is really good, right? Everything basically accumulates, but sound effects is really good. Everybody has headphones, earphones. You don't have to have great speaker system to hear some great sounds. And most people play with headphones, let's be honest. So sound effect is really important. Developers are realizing that slowly. So that thing sounds so great. So obviously I'm hoping that this DLC, whatever that is going to be that good. Because, Chaos Dwarves, I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently that's the case with the fantasy, apparently. In Warhammer Fantasy, there are such thing as Chaos Dwarves, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, let's do this one. This is a gameplay of that. They're on the way, but how do they play? Okay. Pre-release. Everybody's running, but he's still in slow motion. Hello, he's getting attacked by fireballs, yet he's still attacking this guy. What is he? The exoskeleton? What is that? Robotic something? Ooh. Is that the Astragoth Ironhand, whatever that is? Disciples of Hasad.
Astragoth. No, he's not a space-faring metalhead. He's a mecha-wearing, magic-wielding, limb-petrified high priest of Hashat, and he's on a mission to prove his best sorcering days aren't yet behind him. Chaos Dwarfs. What a lovely pair of words. You'll be pleased to know our angry little chaos friends have a nice variety of ranged, melee, cavalry, and artillery units, as well as enough cannon fodder to make the greenest of Skavens salivate. Orc and Goblin labourers offer an inexpensive front line that can be used to distract your enemy's army and control the flow of the battlefield. We'll use them in our approach to soak up arrows and conceal the units we actually care about. Meanwhile, Astragoth and our centaur boys are going to loop around the back and harass their archers. Yep, you heard that right. Astragoth's legs are as swift as they are utterly terrifying. We've sent our blunderbusses to flank the bulk of the orcs, and the result is a similar consistency to mushy peas.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the psychological effect of this, that is great, right? Dwarves, you're supposed to think of them short and bulky, and that's what the lore is, right? But this guy basically has this exoskeleton that makes him even bigger with the robotic legs and shit. That's like, there's something wrong here with this picture. He's running fast with long legs, but he's a dwarf. There's that kind of psychological effect.
All that's left now is for Ironhand to do his thing. Despite putting some greenskins in their place, Astragoth is a far cry from his former glory. A fact he'll need to overcome as he consolidates the orc-infested province of Zorn as Khul to reclaim his rightful place in the Tower of Zard. But proving he's the one true leader of the Conclave isn't old Ironhand's only goal. Oh no. A way into the domain of Hashat has shown itself, and, once breached, the Chaos Dwarfs can reap the most potent power known to Demon Dowie kind. The blood of Hashat. To get there, Astragoth will need to build a drill. A very, very big drill.
Okay.
Which we can upgrade into level 2 and level 4 at the cost of a hefty
Big
sum
for
of raw
Warhammer?
materials.
That's gonna be big.
Which means we'll need a strong economy. We'll return to the Great Drill of Hachette in a little bit, but for now, what better way to amass great wealth than with great violence? We're weakened, we're outnumbered, and we're on the offensive. Thankfully, the Lore of Hachette with its many fiery boons comes in clutch. Burning Wrath is our bread and butter in Astragoth's early campaign. Good damage, good range, good vibes. Who doesn't like swirling death lava?
We're weak and we're outnumbered, but we are at offensive. That's weird. What the fuck is that?
To the victor go the spoils. Another hard-won piece of the puzzle. Unlike every other faction in the world, Chaos Dwarfs know the value of hard work, the worth of a sweaty brow and calloused palms. That's why Chaos Dwarfs don't build any old settlements, no. They build outposts, factories and towers, all tools of the unrelenting machine of industry. Outposts are needed to mine raw materials, factories turn those raw materials into ornaments and gold, and towers are our sprawling province capitals. But what do we build? Well, there's a lot of factors to take into consideration, and before we get there, let's rewind a little bit and take a deeper look at our economy. That's right, hold on to your seatbelt, I said economy. Chaos Dwarfs are industrious little fellas, and that's reflected in the way we'll manage our budding empire's resources. Behold, our new major currencies. Treasury, raw materials, ornaments.
Chaos forces, imagine that, like cons, chaos forces, all the demons and shit. Somebody just wait a minute, we have to talk about the economy here. Like the fuck you just said. Logistic and shit is important, man.
And labor.
Let's give it
and then there's conclave influence, but we'll come back to that later. Treasury needs no explanation, it's shiny, it's heavy.
Wait a minute, can you play as demon side, chaos side? Because this is dwarves, right? This is Astragoth Ironhand side. But can you play as, cons forces? The game, base game has that. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen that. But if you can play that, that would be so fun, right? Checking the economy.
We love it. Raw materials does what it says on the tin, needed for certain buildings and technologies, and can be converted into ornaments or gold in specific factory buildings. Our primary source of raw materials is from outpost strip mines, but we can also trade with it using military convoys, which unlock at turn 5. Armaments. Primarily gained through factory assembly lines, armaments are used in the construction of advanced military buildings and some technologies. As with raw materials, we can trade armaments on military convoy expeditions for other goods. Labor, because all those tasty minerals aren't going to mine themselves. Labor directly affects the output of our raw materials. More strip mines requires more labor, and a dwindling workforce produces fewer raw materials. So keeping your control in check is advised. We can perform various actions with our labor force, increasing our gold stores or our conclave influence, or we can move labor around our sprawling empire to bolster provinces that might need the extra manpower. You may have guessed it, laborers are largely unpaid, gained from winning battles, and are usually greenskins. So, what to build? We've established that labor is important and its effectiveness is directly linked to a province's control. We need labor to mine raw materials, and those raw materials to produce armaments and other goods. I've got an idea, and feel free to disagree with me, that's fine, but I envision a Chaos Dwarf empire with districts. Here, in my homeland, I see the heart of my mining endeavours, free outposts and, keeping all those labourers in line, a tall, terrible tower. Yeah, let's do that. Our next province will be entirely factories, and that'll be our industrial district. Factories are too important to sleep on though, so we'll build a mixture for now, and utilise the swap settlement feature when it's district time. One of the handiest uses for labour is instant construction. For example, we can kickstart our economy by throwing labourers at it, instantly building a money pit to get those coffers flowing. Over in the tower, we'll want to work towards upgrading to rank 2 at the hefty cost of raw materials.
China comment.
An upgraded tower will give us access to the lava fields, where we can churn out more centaurs and the Great Taurus, amongst other handy benefits. More ranks eventually leads to the Lanisu, Bull Center Renders, and the dreaded Bell Taurus, but that'll take time and some serious resources. Before we move on, it's a good idea to get some technology brewing. For Chaos Dwarfs, the technology tree is split into 3 branches: military, sorcery, and industry. No points for guessing which one does what, although our sorcery tree is also where we'll find our diplomatic boons. No wrong answers here, we can cater our society to fit very specific molds. Military powerhouse or economic marvel, the choice is ours. And we're going to choose a nice mixed spread. We'll start with Merchants Guild for the bonus to trade, and then we'll work towards Envoys of the Conclave in the Sorcery Tree, which will get us on good standing with our fellow Chaos Dwarfs. It'll be a while until we need to worry about unlocking technologies with specific resources, so let's just push that out of our heads for now. And whilst we're pushing that out of our heads, let's push some new skills into Astragoths. Root Marcher, that's a given, and we'll drop points into Aspiring Presence now and Featherant Fodder later. I'm going to be playing quite cannon fodder heavy, and it's nice if your meat shields don't run away. At level 12, Astragoth can unlock this lovely little joy, Master of the Conclave. Being quite so angry, expansive, and repugnant, the Chaos Dwarfs get a fairly bad rap abroad. Anything we can do to soften that image will be handy in the long run. With our dashing Bull Centaur hero, we'll prioritise training where possible, and then just make him a right.
Isn't that something? You see a gun, it has such a big hole inside, you can see it through even the scratches inside. Yeah, that's when you know that that's a problem.
Like good stabber of living things, I reckon. What a beautiful bull man. What's his name? Zorak. I think not. Welcome to the party, Natalie. I'm so sorry. Whew, almost done with turn 1, my word. We'll just recruit some sneaky gobbos, another unit of Chaos Dwarf warriors, and some more cannon fodder, labourers. Then it's all aboard the Chaos Dwarf Express to Murderville. Choo choo. Dang, greenskins are holed up on some prime real estate. We'll spread our attackers, as is only correct and proper, to assault on 4 fronts. I know, full frontal charges with cavalry are frowned upon, but I can take them. Especially with a little help from the laws of Hashut and fire. Oh, lava stomp. You love to see it.
Yes, what is it?
As predicted, Astragoth, Natalie and their centaur children made light work of their orcish opponents. Elsewhere, we're making slow but steady progress into the din, and I can only imagine the furious indignation of the soon-to-be indentured locals. With one entrance breached, we're free to...
Seriously, it is really surprising to see this many, basically NPCs. This many bodies in the game, right? I'm surprised this runs in most platforms, right? Because you would need a pretty heavy, intensive CPU to play this game. Because there's way too many things to keep track of. That's a challenge with games like this. Most people, usually when somebody creates some kind of a gaming PC or something, they favor graphic card more than they would favor a CPU or something, i5s and shit. The newer i5s are getting better, but still, you need a proper good i7s if you want to run something like this. But apparently this runs well in any processing, basically CPUs, i5, even some of the i3, which is surprising. How are they doing that?
So chaotic seas with our cavalry.
Look at how many things are happening. Keep tracking of all that. Seriously, he runs that scary.
Oh, mecha body slam. Zorna's Call is once again united, and Astragoth's quest to re-establish his dominance within the Tower of Zar can begin in earnest. We'll set the Billowing Smokestacks commandment to maintain control over our labour and contemplate where to forge ahead next. Remember, we'll be looking for a nice, nearby province to build our factories. The path to the east is tempting, and opens us up to the Mountains of Morn, though the ogres are not a force to be taken lightly. Either way, the Saberskins are less than friendly. War will sing in the mountains eventually. Tantalizingly close, the High Pass is our most obvious choice, and though these crumbling ruins may appear abandoned, they hum with the scratching.
See, the way he's talking about this ogres, high passes and mountains feels like this is a scene from Lord of the Rings or something. It's so great.
Nations of Skaven. Though is not as immediate a threat, the vampires and the orcs of the World Edge Mountain hold no love for us, and would stand fast in the face of our expansive ambitions. But not all our neighbours want us dead, and indeed our fellow Chaos Dwarfs also call these lands home. We would be wise to foster a strong relationship with our kind, for in a world that hates our very existence, they are our truest hope for an ally. You know what, let's just stomp on some rats.
Look at that shit. See, the thing with the Total War is usually when you have games like this, strategy type of games, usually modern or some medieval type of take of it, not a fantasy genre. That's very rare. And when you play games that is RPG open world, you can't get the scale, right? If there's a war, it'd be like, what, 15 here, 15 there, like, 30 people fighting, that's a war. That's the shit with usual games. Total Warhammer is like giving you this fantasy feeling, but with the scale. Every time you go for, look at that down view, the third person view rather than seeing from the top. When you see that view when they're attacking, just epic scene, right? There's like a fog in the distance, lighting, and entire armies are running towards it. That's so great, man. Look at that. Siege has been started. What the fuck? He's performing wrestling moves there.
Classic ogres, couldn't wait their turn. No matter what direction we started in, we're always going to end up in a situation like this. At least our tower will act as a barrier between the ogres and the rest of our settlements. It's got a strong garrison, so we should be alright for now. If things start looking hairy, we can recruit an emergency lord and hope for the best. Impulsive. That's what I like my leaders to be. Anyway, we've only gone and collected a fair few influence points. Let's say we crack open the Tower of Zara and see what's inside. Okay, alright, I see how it is. 2 seats already taken. I guess that's what I get for savouring my rat stomping. Anyway, much like the Chaos Dwarves technology pillars, the Tower of Zara is split into industry, military, and sorcery. There are 4 tiers, 3 districts, and a whole lot of boons to gobble down, with the ultimate prize being the confederation of our fellow Chaos Dwarfs. To unlock the next tier, 2 full districts must be completed in the previous tier. Thanks to my like-minded kin, we're well on our way to achieving those ends. Not gonna lie, I did want the Machinator seat for the bonus to raw materials. We could dethrone them, we have the influence to do so, but we're still trying to play nice at the moment, so probably not the best of ideas.
Although we're creating empire,
we'll park our bum on the blacksmith seat for now. Extra ornaments is nothing to sniff at, and by any means seats aren't permanent. We'll have another shot eventually. Or we'll build an economy so vast every seat is dwarfed beneath our all-encompassing buttocks. Politics. Unfortunately, we're not quite secure enough in our economy to easily swallow the cost of sending a convoy out just yet. Not whilst we're waging 2 wars, anyway. You know what, the convoy will have to wait. Back to squashing rats. I enjoyed that. There's something cathartic about watching Skaven run for their lives. Right then.
Man, see what I love about this is there's lots of RPG elements to this, right? Where you have to make some decision here and there. You have to create your own empire, give seats to different people. As you conquer the region, you are creating this kind of a big ass empire with chain of command and shit, which is great. You usually don't expect things like that, but yeah, this is good. Imagine if Warhammer 40k was also a game like this, like Total War made a Warhammer 40k type of game with the large scale. That would be so ridiculous. Obviously, fantasy is awesome as well, but still.
The High Pass is now our industrial district. We're not accepting labour here, instead funneling it all into our mining district, which we've now converted into entirely outposts. I've opted not to build a tower in Karag Vlag. I'll use them more on my frontiers to hold our borders firm, much like our capital's been doing with the ogres, which is good because they're not friendly. Thanks to the Tower of Zar and our Master of the Conclave talent, we're making diplomatic headway with our fellow Chaos Dwarfs. And we may need to call in some military favours soon if the Saberskins don't calm down. Anyway, right now we've got greener fish to fry. The World's Edge Mountains is home to the Red Eye clan. More greenskins! And they're none too thrilled that we kicked their vampire friends out of the Silver Pinnacle. They're gonna be less than thrilled when we make them homeless. Positively upset when we put them to the mines. Whilst Astragoth psychs himself up for more wholesome violence, we'll have our second army begin the recruitment drive for a pair of great Tauruses. Taurusai?
See, that's the thing. We are playing chaos right now. We need to change our way of thinking. We shouldn't give a shit about if somebody's gonna be pissed or not. That's not the chaos way. We should be just like, how we choose impulsive, angry, right? It's just like, I love whenever you play. I'm big RPG guy, so whenever I play a game, I always create this kind of a role in my head, right? And I play it as that. I am that when I play that game. So, I can only imagine what mindset going to be if I'm gonna play this part.
Alright, let's do this. Gearing up for one big old war. Bring it on, orcs. Oh, okay. There we go then. 20 odd turns in and we've managed to claw ourselves into a somewhat steady footing. The Saberskin ogres are still causing us a little grief, so we'll likely put them down next. But by adding...
Is there going to be a battle where we are stressed, like sweating down our necks, like what's going to happen? Is that a close call type of a battle? Is that going to be there?
World's Edge Mountains to our growing territories, we've opened ourselves up to attacks from Kislevites and our inferior mountain-dwelling cousins. Indeed, the journey ahead is perilous, and Astrogoth's gonna need a leg up if he... Oh! I just mean you could use a hand. I'm sorry. Look, what I'm trying to say is we've got a new epic quest with some stellar rewards up for grabs. The influence alone will set us forward, but the Black Hammer of Hasham...
You're not allowed to get offended about anything when you're the one who's dominating the world, right? I mean, at this point, there is nothing about you that says like, maybe I should watch my words.
It is a must for any would-be Master of the Conclave. Ah, thank you, Burndin, for keeping our flying cows warm. We'll put them to good use, worry not.
Look at how he's running, this is ridiculous.
Okay, here's the deal. We've got
Oh, look at that, dwarves are attacking us. Yeah, we have time. Let's just eat some dinner here and there, drink some wine. They're gonna, what the fuck, what is that? Oh, look at that, it's a dwarves with some kind of exoskeleton.
Derail train and a very important payload to deliver. Our task, ensure the payload arrives at the victory point unscathed. Grabby goblins and opportunist orcs will use this narrow valley to their advantage, meaning we must be vigilant. That's right, kids, it's an escort quest.
They're generating dust. That's how fast
We've got a
they're
replacement train up and running, and I'd wager good money we'll see our first combat on one of these two bridges. Or both. For good measure, we'll split our forces into two crack teams with Astragoth heading one and Nathalie the other. Ooh, there they are. We'll set our great Taurus on their archers and take the rest head on.
Flying bull, what the fuck is that?
As first waves go, it's immensely survivable. Bit of flanking, bit of magic, bit of vigorous stabbing, and they're running for the hills. As Astrogoth's team continues to the next ramp, on the other side of the valley, Nathalie's got a big old spider to squash. Rather them than me.
But why
It's
does
a tougher
ogres
crowd than
have giant
teammate face,
spiders?
but nothing Nathalie can't handle. Meanwhile, more greenskins are pouring into the valley, and Astrogoth's keen to meet them. Good job, Nately. We'll take Team B to the next ramp whilst Team A mops up the stragglers.
This attack is ridiculous with the vortex effect.
Oh, I think the Great Taurus might be my new favourite unit.
Oh, great.
Look at it go! So beautiful, so graceful, so moo. Oh right, not too far from our destination now and the payload's yet to be scratched. Whatever comes next weekend, oh, the bars are coming in. I should shut up, enjoy the film.
That's it. That is terrifying. What's going to be the result? What do you think? Yeah, that's alright. What? What the fuck is that? What is that? Rock troll? What is that? Okay, what is he going to do? That was ridiculous. Imagine his legs stopped working at that point. He just like, God damn it, I have to hit them again. Like, not now. Alright, that was so great, man. Total Warhammer 3 Astragoth Ironhand. Yeah, that dude is ridiculous. The way he runs is just scary. And I love how he just like took down that giant rock troll like it's nothing. Alright, well, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next time.